We're live. Welcome everybody that's watching this video, this hangout. I have to tell you that we have a very special hangout today. I have a very special guest today who will have the opportunity to hang out with her for a little bit and get to know more about a little bit of her background on how she came to be an entrepreneur and what drives her to do what she does every day with helping people and all that. And I have to tell you, she is an amazing person. She is a great leader within Empower Network, and just the way that she helps her team and everybody within the community she does it in such an amazing way that once you meet her, you just can't but love her because she's such an amazing person. And just to add a little tidbit, she is one of the top 200 income earners within Empower Network. So it speaks volumes about her level of success. So without further ado, I want to introduce you guys to Miss Marion Herbertson. Marion, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you, Christian. Thank you for that brilliant introduction. Even I'm impressed. But there you go. Thank you. I really do appreciate your kind words. And it's good to talk with you as well. And as I say, I do apologize, Christian. The state of me, as I say, we've just been for a lovely long walk down by the seaside and come back and had a quick shower, which is why I kind of look the way I do, but it's a pleasure to connect with you. And I'm really looking forward to this interview.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. So without further ado, let's go ahead and start. Could you share with us how basically you became to be an entrepreneur and actually come across Empower Network?
Yeah, absolutely. Now, when I think back about it, Christian, this whole journey started when I was 50 years old, right? I was in a very high-paid job. It was taking up all my time, so much pressure, all the office politics, all of that going on kind of thing. And it was my 50th birthday, and I've been kind of watching the economy and the way everything was developing, etc. And I had this uncomfortable feeling that, I felt trapped. Okay, there was so much I wanted to do, but of course when you're employed, you're on a fixed income kind of thing. So there was that. There was the time involvement, the commuting to work and all of that. I was bringing work home, and it was a nightmare. And I kept sort of watching things, and as a 50-year-old, even though I was a good job, etc., that I was dispensable. I was heading up to retirement, and
Marion, are you still there? We lost you.
That was my main thing, my main concern. And then my little granddaughter, I mean, she was, I forget, she was, I think, 11 or 12 at the time. On my 50th birthday, she actually said to me, "Gosh, Grandma, you're half a century old now, aren't you?" And, that kind of really started me thinking. I was like, okay, I've reached 50 years old. What am I going to do? What do I want to be doing? Is this what I want to do till I retire? And the answer was an absolute resounding no. I really didn't want to do that. But if you go back to that time, I mean, I'm talking only about 6 or 7 years ago kind of thing. If you go back that far, online, well, I was just about sending emails out, and online businesses, etc., were not, not known at that time.
Mm-hmm.
We're working on. Now, I found a company which actually taught you how to build websites, etc. So I started off there, and I found that I kind of adapted to the technicality very quickly. So I really enjoyed that side of things, and I then joined. I'm trying to think. I then joined a company where, again, very much like Empower Network, they did kind of teach you how to market online, etc. But that company kind of fizzled out, really. And then I did something, I was kind of forging my own way, if you like, because I didn't know anything about internet marketing. I didn't know about compensation plans and matrices and none of those kind of things. I then joined a business where it was one of those, you know, five get five kind of thing, and then you help them get their five. And honestly, on the face of it, it looked so wonderful. And of course, I plowed heart and soul into it, and only to discover that, of course, it doesn't work. You know, around about that time, I was hearing these two young guys who I kept being attracted to them. I kept, you know, finding them online. I kept sort of hearing about their story and all of that. But you know, they were so, what can I say? They were so unlikely that I would want to work with somebody like that, you know.
Right.
They were young. One was a recovering drug addict. The other one had been homeless and had long curly hair and all. But, you know, truthfully, none of that mattered. What really got to me, though, was their swearing. Okay, and I was like, oh, you know, I just kept being attracted to them and what they were teaching and the message they had. But it was about 6 months, 9 months that I kept listening to them and didn't join because, you know, because of this concern. It was, okay, I'm a mature person. I'm not going to get impacted by that. But how can I bring somebody else into the business when they're going to face these two guys? Right. But I then had a long chat with my husband about it. And he sort of said, okay, listen to me. Are they being disrespectful? And I said, not really, you know, it's just they have the occasional swear word. And he said to me, you're being slightly judgmental, aren't you? And that made me stop and think. And, you know, I prayed about it, and very soon after that, actually a business partner of mine signed us up. And that was how I came to be in Empower Network. And I'll tell you what, the minute I joined and the minute, you know, you get to know their hearts. At that time, there was Dave Wood and Dave Sharp. Yes. And of course, you get to know their hearts and you realize that they're just amazing, amazing people with the right message. They kind of connected with me, my dreams. You know? They connected immediately. And yeah, it's home. To me, it's home. What I love about it most of all, Christian, and you mentioned it already, is community spirit. You know, it is. Mm-hmm. Information is shared so free. And I think it was Wallace D. Wattles, you know, he said, success comes from collaboration, not competition and that kind of thing. So yeah, I absolutely love it. You know, so yeah, that was a very long answer to a brief question, but that's how I a network.
That was perfect, Marion, and I do have to agree with you. Dave Wood and Dave Sharp, they are pretty odd fellows, but they are amazing once you get to know them. Can you hear me? I think I lost you. Okay, we're having a little bit of lag again.
No, that's okay.
I apologize for that.
You're breaking up a little bit, but I can hear you. Yeah. Don't worry.
Okay, we're just going to go ahead and drive on then. So thank you for that, and thank you for sharing all that background on you and
Christian, all right.
What drove you to actually reach the level where you are now. And so could you tell us a little bit what, for example, when people, you're talking to people and they find out that you're an entrepreneur, what do you tell them that you do when they ask you, what do you do for a living?
Christian, you've hit on the most difficult thing that I you know, experience, right? Because, I mean, first of all, look at me. I'm 5 foot tall. I am what you see here, you know, and most people, you know, sort of, especially younger people, they ask me what I do, and I say, you know, I work online. They kind of look at me like I have two heads. They just do not understand it. My friends, it's the same thing. You know, they do not understand what I do. So what I kind of tend to do is, you know, to people who are just kind of out of curiosity asking what I do, I simply say, oh, I'm an affiliate marketer. And then, you know, brush it under the carpet.
Right.
Because truthfully, people who don't work online very, very seldom actually understand what we do. So if they're not business minded and if they're just acting like, you know, out of politeness, sort of, this is what I do, so what do you do? I don't kind of elaborate on anything at all. But if it comes from somebody who is interested in what I am doing and, you know, is looking at it as a career, I actually explain that I am an internet marketer and a business coach. And that always, oh, you're an internet marketer. What do you do then? You know, and then I kind of explain, well, it's mainly affiliate marketing, but it's got a touch of multi-level marketing, network marketing to it. So really, what I like to call myself is a hybrid marketer. And of course, that opens up the conversation. And hybrid marketer, what's that all about? You know, so it kind of goes from there. So that's how I handle that. With some people, I won't say anything at all. With others, it's a lovely opportunity to actually get the conversation going.
Right. That's awesome. Thank you, Marion. That is an excellent answer, because it definitely helps a lot of people also understand, you know, how they can deal with the question depending on the person. You know, like you said, if it's curiosity, then they'll answer short and brief. But if it's actually somebody who is interested, they can actually go deeper into it. So thank you very much for that answer. That was fantastic. So going off of that, you know, sometimes you're dealing with people that are curious and others that are really interested. What drives you to do what you do every day?
Oh, goodness, Christian. Okay, now, again, you've hit on another area of my life, which is driven by passion. Okay. Number one, I absolutely love what I do, right? I love the whole buzz of internet marketing, learning all the technicalities, finding a new way, working from home, all of that. You know, I love the whole package. Okay. One of the things, though, that you know, this has always been something in my heart. I've always wanted to help other people, right? Because I'm quite an independent, driven sort kind of thing. So I'm sort of okay, but I see other people kind of stuck, you know, in various things, unable to fulfill certain things. Young moms having to leave their kiddies with childminders to go to work, and older people coming up to retirement and no pensions to talk about. And the other day, well, sometime about a couple of weeks ago, I was at the supermarket shopping, and there was this elderly lady there serving me. She should not have been working, you know. So there's that. There was that. I wanted to help people, but also I have such massive dreams. You know, when I talk about dreams, I don't just want to earn, like, you know, 10, 20,000 a month kind of thing. I want to earn as much as you possibly can, simply because there's so much that I want to be doing. You know, there are charities I want to help. My church is involved grassroots level with charities, you know, putting in wells for drinking water for children, education, that kind of thing. So I know so much of that. But even here, you know, there are things like, there's just so much work to be done in that respect. And truthfully, just being in a job where you get like a fixed income, right, which is usually not enough, is it? Because face it, our expenses kind of grow to take in our income. So a lot of times, it doesn't matter whether you're earning a big income or whatever, right? At the end of the month, you're kind of just sort of skidding in time for the next paycheck, right? So my thing was, hang on, I know God's going to bless me. I know, you know, he has prosperous intentions for me. But I have to put myself in the path of that blessing. So if I stay in a job which is going to do nothing besides what that job can do for me, I'm actually excluding myself from all of the stuff that I can then use to help others. So it sort of came from two angles. You know, one was helping others to learn how to market online so that they could actually create their own futures kind of thing and take control of their own futures, but also to be able to help people who can't help themselves. My thing is very much of creating generational wealth, and that's what I want to be able to do. So yeah, no small dreams for this one, massive dreams, I'm afraid. Yeah. So yeah, that keeps me going. I love it. So there you go.
That is fantastic, Marion. Thank you. I feel your passion over here, and I love it because it's those things that drive us to do what we do every day, to help other people and all that stuff. And it is just fantastic, and I like the fact that you brought up that you see people that shouldn't be working, that they shouldn't be out there, they should be enjoying life. And the fact that you want to help them to do that, and you want to help your charities, your church, and all this stuff is fantastic. You see, because what a lot of people don't understand why we do what we do is that we want to do it to help other people, not just to enrich ourselves and be greedy. We're not greedy. We want to help others to be like we are. So thank you for that, for sharing that passion. So up to this point, what would you consider to be your greatest achievement so far as an entrepreneur?
Sorry, Christian, could you repeat that question again?
So up to this point, what would you consider to be your greatest achievement as an entrepreneur? Oh, am I still frozen?
No, you're fine now.
Can you hear me now? Okay. So the question that I was asking is, up to this point, what would you consider to be your greatest achievement as an entrepreneur?
Christian, I'm so sorry. I got, what would you consider to be your great? And then I lost you after that.
Oh, I'm sorry. You keep losing me at the best part. So what would you consider your greatest achievement so far as an entrepreneur?
Okay. All right. There are so many things I can talk about there. On a practical thing, of course, this business of being one of the top 200 income earners in Empower Network. Now, I tend to kind of keep my head down and I just beaver away. So when I got that email, there was nobody more surprised than I was. Right? It was, oh my gosh, are you kidding me? So that was ever so nice. And truthfully, it was nice for that to be acknowledged, but to actually be with a company who took the trouble to acknowledge that was brilliant as well. That I think, other than that, like you saw, today, okay, we can just get up and go do whatever we want to. So that's brilliant, Also, it's just so much peace of mind for me, to be honest. I hated going to work, and I think entrepreneurs are technically unemployable. Job, and they liked me there, but I didn't like go. But also, I think one of the things I liked a nice secure base for others to come in, Christian, and find their way as well. Where we've put in place a kind of raft of things for them, especially in the team that we're in, where they have that security of being able to work on and realize their dreams as well. So those, I would say, are my highest achievements.
Fantastic. Definitely powerful stuff. So I appreciate everything, all the information that you've given us, and it like I said, it's fantastic and it's wonderful. And I do have one last question for you, Marion.
Okay.
If you could offer a first-time entrepreneur only one piece of advice, what would it be?
Oh, that's not fair. How can I just offer one piece of advice? Okay.
You can offer as many as you want.
Okay, let me think. anything. Okay, there would be a little group of things I would recommend. The biggest thing to me, Christian, would be focus. You know, I would say to them, listen, for the next 90 days, right, just 100% blinkered focus. Forget about everything else. Forget about going out. Forget about TV. Forget about anything else. For 90 days, just do what your leader tells you to do. Go through the 8 core commitments. You know, just do what you have to do and stay 100% focused and just follow your leader. That's it. Full stop. You know, because what you find now is, of course, you've got the next shiny ball syndrome, you know, where people are kind of jumping from thing to thing. So very often they arrive with that kind of mindset. And my advice is always, listen, this is a business. This can change your life. Trust me, it can do that. Done it to many people. It can be for you, but just focus and follow the plan. That's it. So, yep, there you go. I managed to keep that fairly focused.
That is an excellent piece of advice. One of the best advices that I've heard, especially in this field and all that stuff. And it definitely is important to stay focused and listen to your leaders, you know, because they know what they're doing. So, you know, you got to follow the leader. In order to be a leader, you got to be a follower first, right?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Well, Marion, I want to thank you very much. Again, I admire you and I respect you a lot because of your leadership and what you bring to the company, how you help people so much and your passion. It's just, like I said, you can't help but love you and admire you because you're such a great person.
Thank you.
So unless you have anything else that you want to add, any last words?
I do. Christian, I do, if you don't mind, just in closing, really. I'd just like to say, you know, you're talking about sort of, we've literally got to know each other.
I lost you there, Marion. I'm sorry. Marion, I'm sorry. I can't hear you. I think I lost the connection. Is your audio on? I'm so sorry. I can't hear you, Marion. I'm sorry. This is like the most important part. Let me see. I think I lost your audio. Can you hear me, Marion? You know, technology is just sometimes it can be so great, but sometimes it can be such a headache. I mean, I apologize, Marion. I can't hear you. But can you hear me? Oh, okay. For some reason, I just can't hear you. I don't know why. But if you want to, what I can do is, if you can send me in a text or an email your closing statement, what you wanted to share with us, I'll include it in my blog so everybody can see it. And that way, you know, unfortunately, and I really apologize to you, Marion, because I really wanted to hear this part and I wanted everybody to hear it. So what we can do is we'll go ahead and I'll get your input towards the end, and I'll include it in the blog when I write the blog tomorrow and get it in there, because I want to make sure that everybody gets this part, because I know I could feel already just looking at you that it was very important and very powerful. So to all our viewers, I hope you got a lot of information from this, and if you didn't, please go over this video again, because as you could see, Marion is such an awesome person, an amazing and wonderful person, that there's so much information that she can share with you, and she can have such an impact in your life that we all want everybody around us to succeed. So please take this information and take action on it. You know, if you're thinking about starting a business, go ahead and do it. Find yourself, you know, some leaders in the field that are actually successful and listen to them. Put your ego to the side and listen to them. Take action now and change your life. And with those words, again, look for the blog. I'll be posting the blog, and I'll get Marion's information in there, her last input, and because I really want to share with this information with you. So I'll see you guys on the next video. Take care.